Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katy.
Let's talk Tri-State.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, powered by HomeRight Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice winner in the 2024 Best of the Tri-State contest.
Our next guest today, we're going to be talking with Paul Frey, who is the president of the Washington County Chamber of Commerce and also the nicest dressed guest I think that we've had so far. You look so sharp.
Well, thank you. As they say, you can take a tie off. You can't always put it on.
Like so, you look very professional.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Talk to us a little bit, just start us off with what is the Chamber of Commerce? For someone who isn't familiar, how would you break it down and explain it?
Well, we are a membership-driven organization, and our focus is on a strong private sector. And it's if you have a strong private sector in a community with businesses, then the rest goes from there. You also have to have good community. You have to have good education, good fire and rescue, good arts and entertainment. So our goal is to have a strong economic base and then work with the community. So people want to come to your community, they want to live there, they want to raise their kids there, and they want to start a business there.
Are you a resident of Washington County?
I am. I was raised mainly in Frederick, but 11 years ago I moved to Hagerstown. Mm-hmm. And about 6 years ago we moved to outside of Smithsburg. We have some chickens and we have a little bit of property surrounded by farms.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about living in the area?
Well, again, I was raised in Frederick, and it was very rural at the time, so I like the rural part of the community, but also all the things to do in a different small municipalities. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like how you say at the time Frederick was very rural. It's gotten so big, really, and Hagerstown is
grew up
expanding.
from a mile from downtown Frederick.
Yeah.
And obviously it's changed if you've been there, and lots going on, but that's a 40-year plan, so they looked ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they have really great food too. Some of the food I've had recently there is great. So let's talk about the new branding, and you have new messaging and logo initiative for the Chamber of Commerce.
So it's been about 15 years since we looked at our messaging and our logo, and our board chair at the time, Dwight Clark, said we need to look at this again. It's time to look at what we mean, or our messaging is, what we mean to our members, what we mean to the community. So we engaged the services of High Rock, and they did this pretty quickly over 6 weeks. And they started talking with our members. They looked at our social media. They explored what we meant to the community. And with that, they came up with, we think, a nice new logo. What the business people, what the community said about us is we help them with their organizations, whether they're profit, nonprofit, or private sector. Mm-hmm. We focus on success. We focused on exploring new ideas. And then how do we help them? Well, we help them by supporting them and help them get better. And so they came up with, we think, a nice new logo, bold colors.
It's hard to put all of that into a logo.
It is, yeah.
This is it. So I don't know where to hold this up. So we love the colors. The triangle in engineering is for structural support. It's one of the stronger pieces that they use. It's about strength. Mm-hmm. We like the blue color. And so, if you see this, the triangle points come on into the chamber will help you.
Oh, okay.
And so we love this. We think our lapel pin is going to be the triangle. Mm. We're no Nike, so if you see the swoosh, you think of Nike. When you see the triangle, we want you to think of the Chamber, Washington County.
And I like too how the H and the B come together, like the community comes together. That's right. Yeah. That's so what my takeaway.
To your point, there's a lot going on there, and we think they did a good job. And so now we're talking about the messaging. We're starting to roll this out, and I should have worn my orange tie. I thought about that. I was sitting out in your lobby. I should have worn it. So, but you'll start seeing that as we speak.
Well, and you will have you back, I'm sure.
Okay.
I would hope that the Washington County Chamber is going to be a frequent guest. But while we have you today, take us through, when it comes to the function of the Chamber of Commerce, is it one of those, is membership based on simply, I'm a local business, I exist, so therefore I'm a member already in good standing, or is there an application process? And if so, what does that look like?
So it's a membership-driven organization. We're 105 years old now. And what we're doing today, some smart people over 100 years ago wanted to do. How do we have a thriving business community? How do we have a strong community? So there is an application process. You can be a business. You can be a nonprofit. You can be a faith-based organization. You can be individual. And so it's based on how many people are in your organization. Mm-hmm. And we encourage a very diverse membership. We have almost 700 members, all types, representing all parts of our community. I'm a firm believer in diverse ideas, diverse thought, and that's what we strive for. That's how we build our board. We have 30 board members who represents all part of our community.
If you're a part of the chamber and you do the membership process and you're approved, what are the benefits of being part of the chamber?
The main one is we work and advocate on your behalf. We defend and protect the investment people have made in their business, in their organization. We do that in a number of ways. Locally, we do it with our city and county. At the state level in Annapolis, especially during the General Assembly time from January to April, we advocate on behalf of business. There's generally 2,500 pieces of legislation every year in Annapolis. We focus on the business ones and what affects our nonprofits. And then we advocate for business. And if there's legislation we think is going to hurt business, we try to fight that or tamp it down. That's the main benefit. And then for someone like Josh, who was on here prior to me, especially for smaller businesses, we help connect them up in our community. I meet almost every day with someone who wants to meet someone in the community. We have educational opportunities. We do celebrations with our business award every year, so we acknowledge and recognize large businesses, small businesses, and individuals.
If I were going to open a business and let's say, I'm trying to think of an example, a hair salon, and I wanted to join the Chamber of Commerce, would you also put me in touch with some other salons just to get some information and advice from someone who opened a similar business?
Yes, and so I worked for Roy Rogers for 20 years, my first career, and my former boss said competition is good, and the opportunity for success is good for everybody if you do a good job. So we believe in connecting up people to learn from them. If you're looking for certain clients, we can connect you in the community for that. If you are a salesperson, you're trying to connect up with certain businesses, certain people, then we do that. And I tell people, we'll connect you and then exit the middle, let you do your thing. Yeah.
And one of the sayings that I love, in not just in business, but to your point with success, and there's some to go around, is a high tide raises all boats.
Yes.
And I think that that's part of the message that you have from the Chamber of Commerce. But my question is, Washington County covers a large swath of land, and we're very fortunate to have all the diverse businesses and, well, landscape that we have. What would you say is the percentage, and I say this because a lot of people, when they think of Washington County, Hagerstown, that's where it goes. What would you say is the percentage breakdown of what is actually Hagerstown proper businesses versus the rest of Washington County?
There's about 3,500 businesses in Washington County. I think probably 800 maybe in the city of Hagerstown.
Oh, okay.
But obviously, we have Hancock, we have Smithsburg, we have Williamsport, Keedysville. So we have a number of other municipalities that have businesses, and we all work together. We're on every other week phone call with the Department of Commerce, or actually, Department of Commerce in Maryland. We're with Economic Development in Hagerstown in Washington County. Our Visitors Bureau, we're on a phone call every other Monday to talk about how can we help each other. To your point, the rising tide lifts all boats.
I was expecting a higher number for Hagerstown.
I was too.
Yeah,
I really was.
Yeah.
You had mentioned earlier Annapolis. Talk to us a little bit about the community coalition work that you do in Annapolis.
We are in our 20th year working together with the City of Hagerstown, Washington County, Hagerstown Community College, our Visitors Bureau, Greater Hagerstown, the Chamber, 3 or 4 other partners. We come together every year. We talk about what can we advocate for to bring our fair share of dollars back to our community, whether it be the city, the county, Smithsburg. And over the years, we've brought back $300 million to our community. The most notable recently is our brand new baseball stadium downtown. That's a $90 million investment. So if you played the lottery, thank you, because there's no taxpayer money used unless you played the lottery. We brought the library to town 12 years ago, downtown, $12 million, USMH, the Maryland Theater. We work with Williamsport with some of their initiatives. So we go together with one voice, and Annapolis likes that. Take all of your family squabbles back home when you come here, be on one message. And then every year we have a reception, a Day in Annapolis, Washington County reception in January, where we host the General Assembly members, and we have about 25 vendors that display what they're doing, and we introduce the General Assembly members to Washington County because most of them are not coming here, and so we want to introduce them to us. So when we ask for something, they know that we're nice people, we have running water, we have electricity, and we have the internet.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to enjoy the stadium yet? Did you catch a ball game at all?
Many times. We have season tickets, and we share them with our members and other people, and I probably have been 15 times over the year. And then during the off season, they're having Thirsty Thursdays where they have happy hour over there. So it's a beautiful stadium. It's very well done, and we're excited to have that in the community.
We have a really nice connection with the stadium, and we've also attended a lot of the Thirsty Thursdays with one of our sister stations setting up live broadcasts. We had a big music concert there.
I attended. It was
Were
great.
you there?
It was great.
It was so much
So
fun.
thank you for doing that. It was unbelievable.
I take all the credit.
Well deserved. Half the credit, twice the blame usually is what happens.
Exactly. But not counting the stadium, because I know that is a big feather in the cap for every organization that was involved. But not counting that, does an experience in your time with the Chamber of Commerce stand out as super rewarding?
I think what I love collaboration. And again, I told you about our phone call. We're on every other week with some community partners. Again, I wasn't raised in this area, but I with Roy Rogers, I know this area. I had consulting clients in this area. It's been a very welcoming community. And I think if you come here as a business or as a new resident, people welcome you if you're honest, if you honor your commitments, and if you want to help out the community. So if you're willing to pitch in and volunteer, I think what I have found is there's no one that stands in a way to help you if you have that. So that's what's been for me, very welcoming. And we get people from all over the world coming here. And, you know, when you live somewhere, you kind of take it for granted.
Of course, sure.
And they say, what a beautiful community, nice infrastructure, nice buildings, all this going on. We have the Schmenckelstube downtown, the German restaurant.
Oh.
And so.
You've been there?
Yes. Oh, yes,
it's
I have.
Great. It
yes.
really is good. And so people from all over the world come here and they love it. And I think that's what I like. It's very welcoming.
And outside of downtown as well, just a short drive, you can be at a different park or hiking and tubing. And
Encino Canal, you know, so lots of things to do here just in Washington County.
Yeah.
Do you have are you in business yourself?
I had a consulting practice for 8 years.
Okay.
And so I am no longer, my business is the chamber and helping others.
I could talk to you all day about Roy Rogers.
I was going to
so
ask
could
you,
I.
Oh.
What was your position at Roy
Well, I
Rogers?
started out of college as a manager trainee, and my wife and I dated through high school and college. And when we graduated, we were getting married, a month after graduation from our respective colleges, and so we had to go to work. And I had been in restaurants through high school and college, so I interviewed with Roy Rogers franchise in Frederick. They hired me, and I came home and told my fiance at the time, I'm going to be working for Roy Rogers. She goes, oh, nice.
Love it.
And so I was there 20 years, and then when I left, I was director of operations and also the franchising. So I tried to leave for 5 years. My boss wouldn't let me. And so it's 20 years.
Yeah.
And, I'm biased. I think it's one of the better chains. It's
Oh, yeah.
focused on quality food, quality people.
And
A
I'm
lot
sure
of
you
people
got,
don't know it's relatively local. They
Yes.
don't realize that.
And I still see people that have been there almost 40 years say, hi, Mr. Fry, it's Paul. We're off the clock. It took me It took me 2 years to stop picking up trash in the parking lot at Roy Rogers. I would finally say, hey, Mary, they got trash out there. I'm not picking it up today.
well,
There you go.
Mr. Fry, thank you so much for joining us today
Sure.
on Let's Talk Tri-State.
Sure.
Coming up, we're going to take a look at news and sports, and it's all powered by the DRB Group, the right partner for your real estate development.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.